Hello, and welcome to a boat-based guide slash walk along, or should I say, sail along. Now I know what you're thinking. Why would I need a guide for something I'm never going to do? Well, just indulge me here for a bit. I'm aware that the seafaring aspect of the game has always felt a bit underdeveloped for a while, but every update as of late has added a bit more to what was once a barren feeling ocean. First, a disclosure. No mods will be used, and although I do recommend you use some quality of life mods, like Action Key Reborn, that is optional. Second, I will make the world small, but nothing else will be changed. Proof of that should be at the bottom right of the screen. Third is that this is not a challenge run video. It's not I survived the 100 days purely on voting, but I do strive for that to be possible through this guide. It should be theoretically possible. I will also not be going into case for the first year. Fourth is that I am not a professional DST player, builder, speedrunner, or dedicated creator. I'm just someone who has a few hours in the game and I want to help others better enjoy the seaside gated content in the game. To start things off, building a boat base is just like building a regular base, only within 4 tiles, and it's a lot more expensive and a little fragile. Kind of. Like the fragility is here and there. Outside of bosses, there's not much that can really target your boat, much less one-shot it. As long as you aren't crashing into every sea stack you see and repairing it when needed, your boat won't scatter beneath your feet. As for expense and size, it's very expensive. And it's very tiny. I'm not kidding about that. I'm going to give you 2 lists of items required to create a nearly self-sustaining boat base and an outline on how to build it. The lists are split into boat and base sections and are as follows. The boat portion includes 1 boat station, 4 boards, 1 boat, 2 sails, 1 steering kit, 1 anchor, 1 lighting kit, 1 deck illuminator, and 1 tin fishing bin. For a total of 19 boards, 15 rope, 16 silk, 4 cut stone, and 4 flint. On the base side, it may depend on the character you're choosing and your personal preference, but the minimum I could manage with is 1 fire pit, 1 alchemy engine, 3 chests, 1 drying rack, and 1 icebox, which is a total of 16 boards, 5 cut stone, not including the 12 rocks for the fire pit, 3 rope, 6 sticks, 6 gold, 2 charcoal, 1 gear. The total for both is 35 boards, 18 rope, 16 silk, 11 gold, 9 cut stone, not including the 12 rocks of the fire pit, 6 sticks, 4 flint, 2 charcoal, and 1 gear. It seems a bit daunting at first, but some of the required items can be carried through pre-crafting, such as the alchemy engine, the chest, and the think tank. You don't need to make the science machine in order to build those and carry them in your pocket inventory. You can also save some time from collecting wood by building it in a forest, obviously. One of the issues is the grass. You will need around 2 to 3 stacks. 2 stacks for just both lists, and the third one for personal use. The real issue is the other tools. Some of them are a bit more specialty than others, but you also need like a lot of the basic ingredients, just that you would normally need to run a base. Some items that would be very useful to bring with you that I recommend, such as the sea fishing rod, the pocket scale, the bug net, the miner's hat, the thermal stone, the watering can, not including your weapon and armor of choice. Now the outline. When I place down the structures, I make sure to keep the rim of the boat walkable so that I can deal with Wavy Jones when he appears, and I am able to board the platform from any angle without risk of falling into the ocean. To ensure this, I've limited myself to have as few structures with hitboxes as possible, although with the reward placement ranges, I could also fit a crockpot and a bird page without sacrificing the rim angle entry. However, the higher profile structures and clustered nature of a boat can make it difficult to operate and find essential equipment. So I've decided to keep it to as low number as possible and divided the boat into 4 sections: alchemy, food, fire, and storage. In the video, they are separated diagonally, but after some more consideration, I think that separating them on the flat side would probably be more appropriate. The fire and the fridge are purposefully spread out to be as far from each other as possible, as a thermal stone in an icebox can turn hot if it's close enough to a fire. Not if the fire is hot enough, but if it's close enough to the fire. Because thermal stones are weird like that. They get a boost from campfires. Despite the super speed of the video, I'm sure many of you can many of the misplays I've made. I'm not the best DST player, and this is after I've dropped DST for a while. Mainly, I made this video to see if I could force myself to just finish it. I've had it in my brain for a while. A boat guide, a boating guide. I hope this is helpful to some people. Hopefully, on how to structure their boat. It's not a very in detailed guide. I'm sure there's already a boat guide on Steam, but I think it's a little outdated. You can use the video in the background as an example, but I do make some big blunders throughout it, such as dying on the maiden voyage. I do roll back on this, but you can use my death as a learning experience, such as remember to bring your floaty. I didn't, and I was pushed off the boat thanks to the rock jaw, which led me to lose the ability to get on my boat and lose a portion of my health. I chose to roll back because obviously I thought that was messed up for the rock to just push me off. But that's that. Now on the second attempt, I do try to fight him for a bit, but then leave because, well, I feel like I'm not getting enough out of it. This is something you can do with most enemies, is just leave. Sometimes if you feel like it's an engagement can be too costly, leaving it might be the better option to commit to. For my next death, this is something that was more difficult to do because it was with the Marauders. The Marauders are, when they get on your boat, they can steal and eat your items indefinitely, which is something that I didn't like when it happened, so I rolled back and then decided to engage the Marauders more actively on the second attempt. My next death was because I wanted a light bulb too badly and then targeted a seaweed through Control F and didn't realize it. That is my fault completely. I rolled back, and that is bad on my part, but that's that. And on my fourth rollback, this fourth rollback in a year, I did so because a rook piece that I was hoping to scan was killed while I was trying to lure a deer clubs to a spider nest. I lured it to the wrong spider nest and the deer clubs died early, and then the rook died to the spider queen.